Right. Yeah. Although although it's the middle of winter, or coming up, no, it's just winter, isn't it? We're about -3 degrees outside at the moment, but I've got my jumper off because, as you can see in the first bit, I've got the fire in the dining room, a light, and that's where I'm sitting. So I think if we just turn this around a bit, oh yeah, there it is. It's nice actually. Should we keep it in shot for a minute? Right, that's warming my butt. Can you remember, either in the last or the one before, I can't remember, video when we were upstairs doing the, just having a sort of, I had that steam engine like that Ivat 268, I think, with a tender, had that pulling around a load of coal trucks at a rather stupid speed, wasn't it? Don't know why I did that. Anyway, I was pulling them around, and I showed you that some of the trucks were weathered, and I'd done the well, what I call weathering on them, and put some coal in them. And the other day I was just looking through the box of trucks which I had left over to do something with, and I came across that one. Right. How about that? Yeah, came across that one. Old main line, which I probably bought for about £5 or something like that. And in that rake of trucks that we were pulling round, there we did. We had one of them, which I'd weathered. Right, that looks a bit odd, that, doesn't it? That is my hand. Right. Anyway, that's right. Yeah, that's the truck that I weathered, and we were pulling around. Okay, and we got the old coal inside it, etc. So I thought what I'd do is I'd just quickly go over how I actually weathered that one. That's not everybody's cup of tea, weathering, is it? But there are other people who will not put a truck, a coach, a building, an engine on their railway unless it has been weathered. So, horses for courses, everybody what they want. We'll have a go at once I've managed to get it out of its wrapping. It's wrapped up well, too. Right. So, I'm going to put the boxes over there. These are the two, side by side. So we'll get on and we'll weather this one, shall we? Show you how I do it. Alright. I'll just readjust the thingy. That's called camera, isn't it? How about that? That's sort of wrong way. That's there or thereabouts, isn't it? Can you see that one? Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I'll move it. Just hang on a minute. Right, I hope that's a bit better for you. We've got the truck, as you can see, and we've got some rail weathering from Life Colour. Okay, some boxes seen before, shown you that one before. Right. You get frame dirt, track dirt, sleeper grime, roof dirt, weathered black, and brake dust. You get that in the, it's a little set, okay? So what we'll do is we'll get, what should we get first? So we get some frame dirt, okay? So there's the frame dirt. Sort of like a browny colour. No. I think we don't want too much on the brush at any one time. The brushes is just a little short bristled brush that I've got, okay? And a piece of, what do they call it, kitchen roll. Alright, kitchen roll. We don't want to put in too much, we don't want to take off too much. We'll start with the like the frame, okay, wheels. We'll take it up a little bit, both sides. Do the buffer beams, okay. And then that's a bit weird, that. I can see, don't know whether you can see, look at that, that's straight out of the box. I haven't opened the box before. Can't take it back now, it's probably 20 years old. There's a gap, can you see the gap? Between the top and the chassis. So I'm going to have to do something about that, I don't like that at all. So I'm just going to screw the top back on the paint. I'm going to get my screwdriver out. And there's a screw on the bottom, one screw, so one imagines that one unscrews it, which I will do. There's the screw, there we go. So why, ooh, yeah, that looks odd, doesn't it? When you look at the underside of that, if you can see it, where are we? Here we go. Right, can you see those little lugs underneath? Yeah. The ones on this side are vertical. The ones on the other side are a weird angle. So that's what's stopping it from actually seating properly. Okay, on the chassis. So make sure the chassis not got anything sticking up on it, which it hasn't. Now why won't this sit down? That's the, whoops. Make sure you get it the right way around, of course, because there's a screw hole here and a screw. So it's, yeah. So it's this one here, and it's meant to go in a hole and click down. So we'll have a look. Which it's not going to do. Still got that gaping hole there. You can see it. Yeah, you see under it. And when I push it together, it comes, and then, right. And there's only one screw there, so that's not enough to pull it down. And what we're going to have to do, I think, is I can't see the point in keeping these here. Can't see the point in keeping the bent ones, because that's what's preventing it from going down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip those off. You just look the other way if you're not They just came off, they did. Right, with my trusty knife I shall just take the little bipple off if there's any left. Alright, so we've got a couple of locating lugs left on there, which is enough, isn't it, really? Don't want any more. It's not going to fly, is it? Right, where are we? Okay. Ah. Now that is sitting down a lot better. The body is sitting on the chassis a lot better. Okay, so we'll just put this screw back in. Let's pull it down. Okay. Right. Let's put this back a bit, isn't it? Never mind. Right, frame dirt. On we go. I use the cap because there's a little gunk, enough for me, in the cap. Okay. So where's the cap? There's the cap. Right. So I'll put a bit on the brush. Okay, and then just take off any excess which is on the brush, and then give the old side there a little bit on the green as well. Okay, and the wheels, of course. Okay, just make sure you got it on most of the stuff there. Inside. Just give it a good old watch over. Like that. Okay. Alright, so that's the first side. So that's given us a little bit of an effect there, hasn't it? Yeah. And that's on the wheels, and then we'll need exactly the same on the other side. I'll go back onto the paper to the there to get a little bit more off. Okay, you're not painting it, you're just dry brushing it. Okay, and that brush what's that? Put a little bit more on that. Okay, don't be afraid, because you're not putting it directly on the old truck, eh? Okay, give it a good rub over. I can see the truck is from Swansea, which was I was born in Cardiff. So not many miles away. Alright. It's in the same country, isn't it? So we need also, of course, to do the buffers. Okay. So I'm sorry, I've got my hand in the way here, haven't I? Of what I'm showing you. Okay. So if you get too much on, just get your finger in there. You can see that. Let me just have a look. Right. Yeah, just a little bit too much on that buffer, isn't there? So just stick your finger on it. Wipe it off. Okay. If you've got another brush around for those pieces which are a little bit tricky. Get that on there. Okay. Don't be afraid to put it on with your brush and wipe it off with your fingers, will you? Right. Now, that I think is probably sufficient for the frame net. Okay, so we'll close that one up. Now we've got some sleeper grime, track dirt. I suppose that we could get. Track dirt is a bit more orange, isn't it? Okay, so we might get a bit of that picked up. Whether you can see that on the paper here. Okay, it's a bit more orangey. Alright, so we can put a dab of that on places. Move that in. Okay. Now notice that with the we should be doing really is moving the brush up and down the truck, not that way, because the grime is there and spread about with the rain. Okay, rain usually falls vertical, apart from Scotland apparently, and in Scotland it's horizontal, well, parts of Wales as well. Okay, so we're just taking the edge off this shiny newness. Okay, so far so good. What we want now is some weathered black. I love this colour. This is nice. It's kind of like a, I don't know, black, I suppose. Yeah. A weathered black. Okay, like a nice grey. Okay, so I don't bother washing the brush between these. Okay, so right, what we've got here is we'll paint that down there. Okay, take the edge off these black plastic end bits of the truck. I suppose you could do this quicker and easier. Well, I don't know whether it'd be quicker if you had one of those airbrushes, I suppose. If you fancied buying one. I've never really had sufficient enough, I don't think, to do with an airbrush to warrant the expenditure. I think it's not just the airbrush, is it? You've got to buy the compressor and all that, and then you've got to clean it all out and make sure your paints are diluted. Bit of a labour of love. I know a lot of people do weathering with. Oh, well, I just kicked that. Sorry about that. Where are we? There, better. I know a lot of people do it. Okay. So what we're looking at here is something which is do a little bit more. I think. A bit more black. I think. A little bit more weathered black, shouldn't we? Okay, on the top, a bit more, come on. Right, so what we've got on the thing is a brown interior and a brown lip around the top as well. Okay, well, cold lorries were never brown. I know it's wood, unless it was brand new. It'll be brown, wouldn't it? I suppose wood brown. So we need to colour this black. We need to put the polystyrene inside, and then we need to think about putting some coal in it, don't we? We'll paint the polystyrene as well, obviously, just in case we can see through any of the coal that we put in, because we don't want to fill it up with coal. It's a bit over the top, that is. So if we put polystyrene in the bottom of it, then we're sort of half filling it, aren't we, with coal. Right, in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to get my saucer of pastels, actually my wife's pastels. So I want some black, so what I'll do is I'll scrape off some black into the saucer. Okay, and get some black. What other colour do I want? Some brown? I'll do some brown in there. There's quite a bit of brown as it is in there. And then some, I mean, this is awful, isn't it? Look at that. Wow, it's in your face. But if you mix it with brown and black, it's okay. Alright, so we got enough of those, haven't we? And we just painted it with weathered black, okay, with this weathered black colour. We've just done that, so we'll just right. So on the edges, on the ledges, okay, we'll just give it a quick coat on the ledges, okay, with that. And whilst that's still wet, okay, we'll put some weathering, put some powder on it, okay. Right, okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Right, we've got the chuck. Here we go. What I've bought for some photography stuff, doing other bits and pieces with, is some of this foam board, they call it, I think. It's like a sandwich. It's got a piece of plastic, thin plastic, one side, thin the other side, and then some polystyrene in the middle. I think it's generally used for mounting photographs or things like that. And this is happens to be 5mm thick. We've got some 3, and I've also got this 5. So what we need to do is to fill up the inside of the truck, okay, with something. So I've put the first bit in there, okay, that's a push fit, that's not going to fall out. So what I need to do now, because it's still a bit deep in there, is to put the second bit in, okay. So I'll slide that in, push it all the way down, make sure it's pushed all the way down. You can hear that it's a good tight fit. Don't worry too much if it's loose, because what we're going to do afterwards is, once we've actually put the coal in, okay, we'll just make sure it's down at the edges, corners. Once we put the coal in, we're going to spray it like we do the I spray it with dilute PVA, like we do on the track for the ballast, like ballasting. Alright, so that's the white. Now, just in case, obviously, we may see the underside through the coal. It's not going to be all that deep. Alright, so we need to paint this, and I'll paint that now with this weathered black, okay, And I'll take the weathered black up the inside of the truck as well. You can see that. Right, needn't be too fussy with it. Alright, so go alongside, go along the end, go along the other side, and along the end. Okay, now this is the time when we need to do the top, okay, as well. So we'll do that. Take that brown colour off there. Nice thing about weathering is it goes everywhere, isn't it? What a mess. So just make sure we've got a reasonable coat of black on there, yeah. Okay, we've got that. Let's not want that. Right, so just make sure that when you're looking down on top of the thing, you look at it from every angle. If you look at it from every angle, you'll see. I noticed that that N, what is it? Right, that N there has got a light top to it. So I'll gather up a bit of that and just double it. Okay, just double it. Right. Okay. There we go. Now, if your black isn't quite black enough, you can always put over some of the what do we use before the pastels, can't we? Okay. I'm not going to put that pastel in there because I think that's enough. But what we've got is some coal, and we've got 2 lots of coal at the moment. The stuff I've been using is this here. Okay, scatter. Join this scatter simulated coal. Stimulated coal. Right. So we've got those. We've got that simulated coal, and we also have something which I bought whilst I was in Nottingham last time. Buzz Scenics, real coal. There was a lady who sold it to me, and she said her dad sat out in the backyard with a lump of coal and a hammer, and since he'd left the colliery he had nothing to do, so she suggested that he bash 10 barrels out of this lump of coal, and she would then put it in plastic bags and sell it to loonies like me. So that's what she's doing. So anyway, what we need to do is just to put some coal in there, don't we? Okay. Oh, sorry, I do. Oh dear, I think I told you before I get the shakes there. Oh dear me, this is terrible. Right, I do get the shakes every now and again, and I think I got them then, didn't I? So what we'll do is we'll just, hopefully that lot will go in there. Oh dear, I'll tell you what, don't get old, eh? Don't get old. Right, that lot needs cleaning up, doesn't it? Now apparently I was listening to some person, she's rather sweet actually. She's on the internet and she's got a railway thing, and she was saying that she quite liked the ones that you could buy now, which I think actually slotted directly, sort of like coal, simulated coal stuff, and it was a thing that slotted directly into the wagon. It was like preformed, yeah. And apparently she said it was pre-formed in such a way that I'm just trying to get that bit away. There was 2 humps in the wagon, one each end, which actually simulated when the grab came over and filled these wagons up. There was 2 grabfuls a wagon, or something very similar. Yeah. Well, they only dropped it in 2 places. I don't know. Anyway, she said she loved it because it had 2 lumps on it, two sort of like mountains, 2 hills. So I thought we'd do that. Right. Picking up all these little bits. I tell you what, you should see me whilst I'm ballasting. It goes everywhere. Oh, it's good fun, isn't it? Alright, so that is the finished item. Alright. So that's what I need to do now. Okay. So I'll spray that with kind of soapy water, and then I'll drop the glue with a little bit of soap, 50-50, 50 water, 50 PVA glue. I shall syringe that onto the coal, and it will stick there. So I'll just go off and get my syringe, I think. Yeah, no, I've got it here. What I haven't got is my puffer bottle, so just bear with me. I'll pop off and get that. Right, we're back. I've just wet that with a bit of soapy water. That's what I keep my 50-50 in. Okay, and this is a syringe which brings back not such nice memories. There's about 50 of them. And what we need to do is to drop this, okay, on the coal. That's nice. Right. So that's a nice mixture of glue and stuff, which we'll leave to dry. Experience shows me that I need to leave it to dry for a day. Well, I might not take a day actually, because it's quite warm in here now with that fire on. So we'll say bye till the next time. Don't know what the next one will be, but we'll say bye. Thank you for watching, and yeah, that actually looks more or less the same as that one now, doesn't it? Kind of. Anyway, bye bye.